What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including Jim Ross's big slip-up on Dynamite, an AEW star suffers a serious injury on Dynamite, John Cena's ready to be a father, Otis looks unrecognizable, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now let's hit the intro and get straight into the first story. Now, our first story looks at JR's a big slip of the lip. Topping our news today is a hilarious situation that occurred on live television involving WWE Hall of Famer Jim Ross. Ross made a major blunder on the 30th June edition of AEW Dynamite when he closed out the show by saying, "There's nothing like seeing WWE Dynamite live." Ross's unfortunate mistake led to criticism from fans who incredibly called for him to stop calling matches. Considering Jim Ross spent decades calling matches in the WWE, such a slip of the lip was bound to happen, but it's not the first time he's done this. Nevertheless, Ross made no excuses for his mistake, stating after the show, "Yep, I apparently made an untimely error tonight at the show's end. No excuses, and I'm not quitting." The Young Bucks had some fun at good old JR's expense, tweeting about their match next week against Penta and Eddie Kingston, saying, "Eddie and Penta, let's see if you can beat us next week when it counts on WWE Dynamite." Next up, a serious injury on Dynamite. Bad news for AEW wrestler Rebel, as Dr. Britt Baker's partner in crime suffered a dislocated knee during their tag team match against Nyla Rose and Vicky Guerrero during last night's episode of AEW Dynamite. Wrestle Talk's Liam Winnard reported on what happened to Rebel. She suffered the injury when running across the ring to break up a pin attempt, which she managed to do but couldn't get up afterwards and had to crawl to the side of the ring to be checked by medical staff. Brian Alvarez from the Wrestling Observer tweeted, "Rebel is back on her feet now after a dislocated kneecap tonight, so best wishes to her." There's no word on a return date at this point, but we extend our wishes for a fast and full recovery to her. Next up, John Cena wants to be a dad. John Cena is currently promoting his role in the film F9, and during an interview with the Sun newspaper, the 16-time world champion talked about changing his views on being a father. You may recall that Cena's relationship with Nikki Bella ended with rumors that part of the reason for the breakup was Cena's unwillingness to be a dad. However, Cena, who married Canadian engineer Shay Shariadza in 2020, talked about his current view on kids. "I'm a little bit older, a bit wiser. I'm realizing there is life and life exists and it's beautiful, and I think that part of that is being a parent, so we'll see." This view does seem to be an abrupt change from Cena's previous stance on being a parent, and some fans may find it harsh that he reportedly left Nikki over the issue. Is it a case of Cena changing his stance due to getting older, or something else? Cena also revealed that he lived in a car before he became a successful wrestler. "I slept in my car for a while, which happened to be a very roomy 1991 Lincoln Town car. I had my clothes in the trunk and I slept in the back seat." John Cena doesn't have to worry about sleeping in cars anymore, considering his thriving film career and his rumored return to the WWE this summer. Next up, Otis is unrecognizable. Did current WWE superstar Otis have plastic surgery or something? Well, that's the question some fans might be asking, given Chad Gable's protege's incredible physical transformation over the last few weeks. Otis, who turned heel to join Chad Gable's Alpha Academy, recently debuted a new look on the bump. Not too long back, the big man shaved his beard, and now he's cut off his long hair, with some fans not even being able to recognize him, or looking like Chris Farley. During an appearance, Otis, a former amateur wrestler, explained his makeover, saying, "I think it's part of the plan of looking like we used to be. When I say that, it's back when we used to compete as Chad was in the Olympics and I was in amateur wrestling. We had the shorter hair look. It was basically a last-minute thing, shaved off the hair, and now we're back to business as usual. I didn't want people to see the old Otis, I wanted people to see the new Otis. If you see the big beard, long hair, okay, but now you see the clean-shaven maniac. Now it's a different Otis." Otis's new look may be shocking, but it's a good way to help get him over in his new role as Chad Gable's burly tag team partner. It furthers the idea that Gable has got into Otis's head to make him change everything about himself, including his attitude and his physical appearance. In fact, sometimes a wrestler needs a dramatic change to their appearance in order to get over as a new character. Equally important to the cosmetic changes, though, is how the wrestler is booked in their new role. If Otis is jobbed out, there's little hope for him getting over. As for Otis's new look, the only thing that we can hope for is that fans don't start spreading rumors that Otis isn't the same Otis as before, much as they did when the Ultimate Warrior left the WWF and returned with a leaner look and a different haircut. leading to that strange urban legend that he died and had been replaced by another wrestler. But what do you guys think of Otis's new look? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Triple H tried to help Jon Moxley. Is there bad blood between WWE and AEW star Jon Moxley? Well, the recent stories suggest that whatever management's feeling about Moxley may have been when Moxley left the WWE, Triple H was ready to help out the former superstar in his time of need. In 2019, he left the WWE after years performing there as Dean Ambrose, with WWE management, including Vince, believing he was merely taking time off to recharge his batteries. However, Moxley shocked the world when he signed with AEW and followed up with an appearance on Chris Jericho's Talk is Jericho podcast, unloading on the promotion's creative process and mentioning it as the reason he left the company. This fuels speculation of bad blood between Moxley and the WWE, but as we'll see though, that speculation may have been an error. Right before Moxley was scheduled to wrestle Kenny Omega at AEW's 31st August 2019 All-Out pay-per-view, he suffered an MRSA infection, leading him to bow out of the bout. During a recent episode of our Oral Sessions podcast, Moxley's wife Renee revealed how WWE's Triple H graciously offered any assistance that he or the WWE could provide to the former superstar. Even when Jon left, there was a time that Hunter pulled me aside because Jon was injured when he came back from New Japan. Hunter kept checking in to make sure that Jon was okay. If he needed anything, the WWE would have been able to help him in any kind of capacity. She talked about the impression that Hunter's graciousness left on her. So it was nice to know that the olive branch was still extended and that it wasn't that heat-seeking thing that everybody thinks that it is. We've all spent much time together and nothing bad went down. And finally, Roman Reigns' astonishing achievement. Last but not least, congratulations to Universal Champion Roman Reigns, who has achieved quite the record in the WWE year. Wrestle Talk's Liam Winner tweeted, "Aside from one asterisk, Roman Reigns is the only person on WWE's main roster who has had more than one match this year and won them all. The one asterisk is Veer, who has a win on main event and a win at the Superstar Spectacle show when he was still Rinku Singh." Now, knowing wrestling fans' passion for accuracy, Wynn had made sure to point out Ivar was also in this club before this past Monday's Raw, but he was in the Battle Royal that Riddle won. Regardless of Veer or Ivar's win, there's no comparing the who's who of opponents who have fallen to the Tribal Chief. Reigns continues to plow through when he's going to face Edge at Money in the Bank and rumoured to face John Cena at SummerSlam. At this rate, there's no telling when he'll be defeated. But there you have it folks, the wildest wrestling news stories and rumours you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.